Too black, which is too strong.
You so black.
Once again, this your boy Brother Black One here with another hot one. Want to discuss being in the market for relationships. And it's about not dumbing down your relationship resume. There are people out there who unemployed, who need a job, and it gets to the point where you know your self-worth and the value you bring and your expertise, but sometimes you gotta do what you need to do to get what you need to get to ultimately. And meaning that you may have a degree in accounting or something like that, but you're willing to be a payroll clerk because you need a job to take care of yourself, especially if you got a family. So what people tend to do sometimes, they tend to dumb down their resume just to get a job and provide money, which makes sense because a lot of times you'll find that you have people applying for jobs that are overqualified for the job. So in order to hold that off, in order to be more competitive in that job, they'll intentionally leave stuff off their resume so that they can get that job. Is it advantageous? Does it make sense? Yes, it makes sense. And I think a lot of times the reason why employers don't want to hire you is because they're fear that you'll become bored with the position, you won't like it, they'll feel like you'll leave, but they don't realize you need a job. You ain't got time to be worrying about, if you like it or not, but you got to do what you got to do, especially when you got a family involved. Same thing in relationships. And I'm thinking this is more geared towards the ladies, although men go through it somewhat, but the ladies, especially where I live at in the DC area, there's a lot of black women that are doing very, very well for themselves. I was talking to one of my buddies and my close high school friends, and he told me that most of the women that he meets have their own home. I ain't talking about a condo. I ain't talking about a townhouse. I ain't talking about an apartment. I'm talking about they are in a single family house. And he said that that's just the norm. And that's around this geographical location. Can't speak for any other areas around the country. And the reason why I'm saying don't dumb down your relationship is because you don't want to be desperate just to say that you're in a relationship. And I've done a video in the past about, the yearning and longing to be in a relationship, and the reason why a lot of people want to be in a relationship. And I say that's a God-given mandate. That's something that is put in you by God because God created us to be relational beings. But at the same time, it can get pretty lonely out here and you want to be in a relationship, especially when you see all your girlfriends in a relationship and they talking about what they and they boo did together, but you can't always believe what they say. That's a whole nother video because you don't know how they're being treated behind closed doors. So my whole point is, don't dumb down your resume relationship wise just to say you got somebody. Don't settle because you want somebody. A lot of you are lonely, but you're not alone. You got family and friends. If you go to church, you got people in church. You can, join different groups, meetups or whatever. But don't dumb down your resume, because what happens is a lot of the brothers are intimidated because of your status career-wise. And you can't make an excuse, ladies, for you doing what you're supposed to do. I won't get into all that, the background between the men and women and why women are doing better. That's a whole nother video. I don't even feel like going through that, but I just touch on it lightly. But for the most part, the bottom line is women are doing the doggone thing with their life and their career. And you can't feel ashamed, or you can't just don't talk. Hey, if you got your master's degree and you did this and you worked your way up and you work hard, then be proud of that. If he can't deal, if he can't deal with that, then that's not the guy for you. Because as I said in the past, you should be building. Yeah, you might meet a guy that may not necessarily be where you're at, but he should be trying to strive to do better, to show you he's trying to do better, because you definitely don't want no leech, which ends up happening to a lot of guys dealing with these girls. And then you deal, because see, when you settle in that relationship, then you start compromising who you are on the male and female side, because you got a lot of women that, and there's no knock against my brothers who've been in prison or in jail or anything, but women seem like they'll harp and try to get guys and they're saying that can hopefully change them or whatever. But if that guy's behavior is what it is, ain't nothing you can do to change that. So my thing is, don't dumb down your relationship. Be forthright. Put everything on the table. Now, I'm not saying brag and be like, this is what I got, blam, house keys, Range Rover, this and that. I don't need no man, whatever. No, I'm not saying that. But you just tell the guy, say, hey, look, when you talking to him, doing that interview process, if you will, so where you see yourself in the next 5 years? That tell you a lot right there. And if he got aspirations and he just needs somebody to help push him, I mean, like I said, I did a video on that before. If he not interested in being progressive and moving, then that may not be the guy for you. But don't sit there and say, man, I want to be in a relationship, so I'm going to accept this low-paying relationship emotionally instead of waiting and working on yourself and then attracting somebody who is your cup of tea. Because in the end, what do you end up doing with that job? You end up quitting that job because you know it's beneath you. But most people, if you're smart, you'll stick it out till you find something better. And I guess you can use that same analogy when it comes to relationships. I'm going to keep this person until the person that comes along. That's not cool, because you're stringing that person along. You're just using them to fill time as a space filler. You know what I'm saying? So, again, do not dumb down your resume relationship-wise just to get a job. Why not get a job and get a career, or get the person that you vibe with, that y'all on the same level intellectually? Y'all can grow together. Y'all can help each other out. Y'all can do all those things together. Don't dumb down your relationship when it comes to relationships and finding that person that you want to be with. This brother Black One. Until next time, peace.
Thanks again for tuning in with another broadcast of Brother Black One. Until next time, family, peace and love.